In a survival situation, I don't want to be showing off my flint and steel skills or making a bow drill. If I have a Bic lighter with me, that's what I'm going to use to get that fire going so I have the greatest chance of survival. Hey YouTube, Joe Bassett here for Valiant Outfitters. Thanks for joining me for another Wilderness Wednesday. You've heard me mention about the Valiant Outfitters Key 3. It's based on the survival rule of threes. The average person can survive for 3 minutes without air, 3 hours without shelter, 3 days without water, and 3 weeks without food. And we prioritize our training that way. Now, along with that survival rule of threes, you've probably heard of something called the Core 4. Fire, shelter, water, and food. We do teach the Core 4, but we've put a little bit of a twist on it. We call it the Key 3, and we emphasize shelter, water, and food. We teach that fire is the prime directive for the other 3. You can use it to keep a shelter warm. You can use it to get some smoke to help keep mosquitoes away or signal for help. You can use it to disinfect your water by boiling it. And whenever you have to harvest food in the wilderness, it's good to cook it. Even if it is something that's safe to eat raw or uncooked, it helps to cook it to help kill any parasites or unseemlies that might be in it. Now, for each of these areas, we teach that you should have 3 tools and 3 levels of tools that you can use in a survival situation. I've mentioned in previous videos about fire. Level 1 tool for fire is a Bic Lighter. Something that was manufactured that you carry with you and keep with you at all times. For water, it's always carry some bottled water with you. For food, the level 1 tool might be to carry something dehydrated, something as easy as some energy bars. It could be some Knorr rice sides with a packet of tuna that you could cook and heat up, rehydrate that Knorr rice side. Makes a tasty meal, but it also gets you much needed calories. Today, I'm going to talk about fire. The level 1 tool for fire is a Bic lighter. People are very often surprised to find that I have a Bic lighter in my bag, and I always carry one with me, and that's my level 1 tool. They usually respond with something like, hey, I thought you were a survivalist. Well, yeah, I am. In a survival situation, I don't want to be showing off my flint and steel skills or making a bow drill. If I have a Bic lighter with me, that's what I'm going to use to get that fire going so I have the greatest chance of survival. Today I have with me my cook kit, and my cook kit is very basic. I just have one of those little Stanley cook kits. I have this cheap tin cup that's in here. I've made a cozy for it to help protect my hands, or if I have something warm in there I want to keep warm, that cozy helps with that. I have a spoon and a fork. Very handy. Nested inside of my Stanley cook kit, I have my trusty Bic lighter. We'll be back to that in a second. I also have with me a little MSR pocket rocket. Now, if I'm out for a bushcraft weekend, I'm not going to take this, but that is for my backpacking trips. Little isobutane canisters fit real well in it. So let's talk about the lowly Bic lighter. There's some hacks you can use to make it even better. One of the first things I do is I wrap it with some Gorilla Tape. This Gorilla Tape is very flammable. It takes a flame well, and it burns a long time. The little fibers that are in Gorilla Tape will help it last. I would say you could take 6 inches and process it down, and it'll burn for 3 or 4 minutes and give you a substantial flame that then you can use to get larger wood, some kindling going. Something else I do is I take a little bank line and make a loop, and I tape that down with the Gorilla Tape, and that just makes it handy for fishing out of my pocket. It's very secure because Gorilla Tape, of course, holds so well, and that is handy for putting on a carabiner to make sure that my lighter is always in a place I can get to it easily. Also, something that a lot of people worry about with the Bic lighter is that the little tab isn't protected. It can very easily push down. It might be in your pocket and push down, might be in your fire kit, push down, and all of that butane that's inside would leak out. Well, what I've done is I've taken a Canadian jam knot and I've put that on so that that can't be pushed down. I can just take that off, put it back on, and pull it tight. And using that Canadian jam knot, that helps protect that from being pushed down. Let's go back to the beginning and talk about processing that Gorilla Tape down to use as tinder to get a fire going. And then I'll also demonstrate how to make this Canadian jam knot here with just a little bit of bank line. So here I've taken some of that Gorilla Tape and I've processed it down, and I'm just going to make a little tiny bird's nest from it. I want to leave some openings there. I don't want it to get too stuck down on itself because I need some air to get up through there. Then I'm just going to use that lighter to get that lit. And that's going to burn for a good long time. You can see that black smoke coming off of it. That shows me that there are petroleum products in there. And of course then I could take more tinder and some more substantial kindling, get that on there. And that's going to burn for quite a while for me. I just checked my watch. That's been going for about 90 seconds so far, and you can see I still have quite a bit of flame there. But if I had processed down some other tinder, I can keep feeding that. I could also take that and put in the middle of a tinder bundle. If you process it down far enough, you can even get it going with a ferro rod. A good hot spark from a ferro rod will light that just fine inside of a tinder bundle. Just checked my watch again. We're at another 90 seconds, so that's 3 minutes. And I still have some flame going there. Well, just went out, just a little bit of smoke coming off of that. And we were at almost 5 minutes, just a little shy of 5 minutes for that. All right, let's tie that Canadian jam knot. I just have a length of bank line here, and it's just going to be a series of overhand knots. So I'm going to put an overhand knot in one end of that and pull that tight. That's going to be our stop knot. Next, I want to do another overhand knot up a little bit further. Let's not close up that just yet, because I'm going to take the other end, what was the standing end, and I'm going to run that through and then pull that knot tight, that overhand knot tight on that standing end so it can slip through. Then I'm going to put one more overhand knot in the other end, in that standing end. So now I have an overhand knot at both ends. And then I also have that loop or that slip knot that's in the middle, and you can see how that pulls back and forth on that. What this does is it keeps it from pulling through on itself, and I can take that knot and pull it through, and then I can cinch it down. And if this does run into that knot, it's going to stop it. To loosen it, I just grab that opposite side and pull it loose. I can loosen it and tighten it over and over again, reusable. And it's going to be nice and secure and keep that tab from getting pressed down and releasing all of my butane. So there you have it, the lowly Bic Lighter. Very handy, a great survival tool. Plenty of other uses for it, but those are the basic ones that I use in our Valiant Outfitters Key 3. Hey, if you've enjoyed this video, if you got something helpful out of it, please hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. This is Joe Bassett for Valiant Outfitters. We'll see you back for another Wilderness Wednesday.